In 1822, the New England Farmer's newspaper wrote a new craft was being noticed and admired in Plymouth, Massachusetts. People were taking fabric scraps and braiding them into colorful rugs. Rug Braiders International says these crafts took off in the 1820s and 30s after the explosion of the American textile industry made extra fabric actually available. Today, in St. Lawrence County, a woman is keeping that rug braiding tradition alive, sharing her skill with anyone who wants to carry it on. That's today's story of the day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Long Run Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor in Lake Placid, providing comprehensive wealth management, retirement, and financial planning solutions. LongRunWealth.com. And the Devlin Inn and Suites, Lake Placid, welcoming families, athletes, and groups to the Olympic Village, offering Adirondack mountain views and dog-friendly accommodations. TheDevlinNY.com.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Wednesday, April 1st. Nothing fake or foolsy about this news, all facts. First up, several protesters were arrested this morning after blocking the chambers of both the State Assembly and State Senate in Albany. They were calling for action on immigration-related legislation, including bills that would keep local law enforcement from cooperating with ICE. Governor Kathy Hochul has proposed a bill restricting those agreements, but progressive groups and lawmakers are seeking broader restrictions. Murad Awada is president of the New York Immigration Coalition.
We cannot continue to wait for the day that, they feel confident or find the courage. This bill should have been passed on day one of the state legislative session.
Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins says Hochul and the legislature continue to negotiate on immigration bills. It's one of the issues the leaders remain apart on as the budget is late as of today. SUNY Chancellor John King visited SUNY Potsdam Tuesday. He checked in on the university's efforts to accommodate students dealing with economic insecurity. His visit comes as the campus adjusts to life with fewer students overall. I was at the visit and produced this story. SUNY Potsdam's enrollment is down 43% since 2010. 18% just in the last 5 years. It's cut 9 majors, including dance and theater, Spanish, French, and philosophy. It's let faculty and staff go as it contends with a multi-million-dollar deficit. Chancellor John King said Tuesday SUNY Potsdam is adjusting to a new normal.
We think the campus has largely stabilized enrollment at the 2,500 point. That's taken some adjustment of staffing and programming to match that smaller size. But we think Potsdam is positioned to thrive in the long run as a 2,500 student campus.
King says the school's teacher education program is doing well, and it expects a new physical education teacher track to drive more growth. King also says SUNY Potsdam is doing more to help lower-income students thrive on campus.
You'll put a code in.
Senior Gregory Moore shows King around the campus food pantry. It serves more than 320 people. He taps buttons on refrigerated lockers that allow students to pick up free food anonymously.
Not have to worry about the stigmatization or bullying or anything that's attached to it that people, because they can't fund themselves or they can't properly take care of themselves.
Moore is a product of SUNY Potsdam's successful bachelor's in sociology in the Riverview State Prison in Ogdensburg. He started his studies while incarcerated. Now he's out, about to graduate in May, and says he wants to give back by working at the food pantry.
It helps you because it keeps them from being hungry, and you can't focus on your work and focus on your materials if you're starving and your belly's talking to you. So the pantry gives them a way to come and have a food to eat and be able to sustain themselves while doing their academic career and pursuing that.
While touring campus Tuesday, Chancellor King also heard from staff about new efforts to help students with transportation.
So the college is being creative about ride shares and other strategies to help students get to their internships, their student teaching placement, their medical appointments. I've also been struck by the supports that are here for students with disabilities.
King says these efforts are part of a system-wide effort to help students in need stay in school and graduate. It's also a way to keep enrollment at places like SUNY Potsdam up by attracting new students who may be on the fence and convincing them it's the right place to get a college degree. David Sommerstein, North Country Public Radio, Potsdam. The North Country is home to a rich tapestry of traditional folk arts, from quilting and fiddling to mohawk beading and basket weaving. In today's North Country at Work story, we talk with one woman who spent decades practicing and passing on the tradition of making braided rugs. Anna Williams-Bergen has this story from Parishville.
Helen Condon leads me into her rug braiding studio. It almost feels like a nest in here. Cozy, big windows, and full of fabric. This building used to be Parishville's Grange Hall. The dance floor is now her studio.
Now there's wool in it. And it starts on one side with purple, and then it goes around and gets to pink and red.
Condon's been building and using this collection of supplies for decades. She braids with long ribbons of wool, each torn by hand.
And you don't cut your wool when you're making, you put a little cut in the bottom and you rip. And it rips on the straight of the grain, the warp or the weft. Isn't that wonderful?
Buying brand new wool, the way you might with fabric for sewing, gets expensive real fast. So Condon uses old clothes, suit jackets, sweaters, whatever she can get her hands on.
I go to thrift shops, and there's some people that send me wool. You just have to keep talking, that's all.
Condon has been braiding rugs like this for over 65 years. She's had a rug braiding business since the 1980s, and she's also taught dozens, if not hundreds, of people to braid.
I'm 85, and since I was 18, I've been braiding.
The rugs are round or oval, swirled with rings of multicolored braids. And they're tough. These rugs last about 50 years, even when you're walking on them all day. You can repair them here and there as you need. That's what Condon's working on the day I show up.
So I'm trying to repair a rug. I don't know how it's going to come out because the braids that are there already have been walked on for a long time, and so this rug is maybe 1/4 of an inch thick. The braid is about 3/4 of an inch thick.
Oh, right. I can see. So it's almost like lumpy in comparison.
Right. So we'll have to walk on it a while after we get it done.
Condon works at an enormous round table. She folds ribbons of bright yellow, light tan, and dark green, braiding a new row into the rug where it's worn. She works quickly, and you can tell it's really physical, folding, tugging, and twisting that takes strength and precision.
As you're braiding, you have to fold in all the edges. That's the hard part. So you use your thumb on your left hand to slide this wool under. It's not easy.
After so many decades crafting these rugs, it's like second nature for Condon. But she's also thinking about what comes next, how to keep this folk tradition alive into the future.
I'm 85. I still have time, but the hands, the thumb doesn't work like it should.
Condon's solution? Teaching as many people as she can, and hoping that they'll teach people, and the cycle will continue. She does workshops and classes, sells do-it-yourself rug braiding kits, and she'll braid for as long as she can.
It's my work, but if you love your work, you've got a good life. I mean, whatever you do, you love your job, and I love braiding rugs. I love to see something happen.
Condon says she loves making things that aren't just beautiful, but useful too. And if you've got any old wool you'd like to offload, get in touch. For North Country Public Radio's North Country at Work project, I'm Anna Williams-Bergen in Parishville.
The story is part of North Country at Work, a long-running project of NCPR that collects photos and stories about work life in our region. If you have a work story you'd like to share, email us, work@ncpr.org. Music today by Tim Ellifritz of Johnsburg and Gretchen Kohler of Potsdam. I'm David Sommerstein, North Country Public Radio.